What the Artemis II crew just saw back there isn't just a pretty view. It is a horror show of cosmic violence that has been hiding in plain sight. It's a graveyard. And what they found in the shadows changes everything we thought we knew about our own survival. When we look at the moon from Earth, we see those dark, smooth spots. We call them seas. They look like calm places where you could land a ship and go for a walk. But the far side, the side Artemis II is screaming over right now, it has almost none of that. It is a wall of jagged peaks and holes so big they defy logic. The crew is currently flying over something called the South Pole Aitken Basin. To call it a crater feels like an insult. This thing is a wound in the moon's crust that is 2,500 kilometers wide. To put that in perspective, if you dropped this crater on the United States, it would stretch from New York City all the way to the Rocky Mountains. It is so deep, over 8 kilometers down, that you could stack nearly 20 Empire State Buildings on top of each other and they still wouldn't reach the rim. But here is the really scary part. The mountains surrounding this basin, the Leibniz Mountains, are taller than Mount Everest. Imagine flying a tiny tin can of a spaceship past peaks that are nearly 30,000 feet high, knowing that if anything goes wrong, there is no one to hear you scream. As the Orion spacecraft moved into the loss of signal zone, the crew, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen, experienced something no human has felt in over 50 years. Absolute, total isolation. For 40 minutes, they were cut off from every heartbeat on Earth. They were on the dark side of a dead world. And then it happened. The crew witnessed a total solar eclipse from space. From their perspective, the moon didn't just cover the sun, it swallowed it. The sun's corona, that ghostly burning halo of fire, erupted around the black disk of the moon. Victor Glover, the pilot, told Mission Control later that their brains were not processing what their eyes were seeing. Why? Because in that darkness, the moon stopped looking like a rock. It looked like a void, an empty, hungry hole in the universe. And as their eyes adjusted to the dark, they saw something even more unsettling. Small, sharp flashes of light on the lunar surface below them. These weren't city lights. There are no cities there. Those were meteoroids, space rocks, slamming into the moon in real time. Without an atmosphere to burn them up, the moon just takes the hits. It's been taking them for 4 billion years. But it's what lies under the surface that is truly terrifying. Deep beneath that massive Aitken Basin, there is a lump. Scientists found it a few years ago using gravity maps, but the Artemis crew saw the geological evidence with their own eyes. There is a mass of metal 5 times the size of the big island of Hawaii, buried hundreds of miles down. Think about that. Something hit the moon so hard with so much force that it left a corpse of metal buried deep in its gut. It's an unexploded cosmic bomb from the beginning of time. You might be wondering, okay, it's a big scary rock. Why does that change anything for us? Because the far side of the moon is Earth's witness. Everything you see on that scarred surface, every hole, every mountain, every crack, was a bullet meant for us. The moon is essentially our cosmic bodyguard. It has spent billions of years standing in the line of fire, soaking up the hits that would have wiped out life on Earth dozens of times over. When the Artemis crew looks down at those overlapping craters, they aren't just looking at geography. They are looking at a history of total destruction. The far side is thicker, it's tougher, it's like a shield that has been beaten into a pulp but refuses to break. If the moon wasn't there to act as a wrecking ball for incoming asteroids, you and I wouldn't be here to talk about it. But there's a darker side to this big picture. The moon is changing. It's shrinking. As its core cools down, the surface is wrinkling like a grape turning into a raisin. This lunar shrinking causes moonquakes, massive ones. The crew saw scarps, cliffs hundreds of feet high that had snapped into existence as the moon literally shrivels up. This isn't a dead world, it's a dying one, and it's twitching as it goes. So why do we do it? Why send 4 people into this silent graveyard where the ground is literally shrinking and the shadows hold hidden masses of metal? Because inside those terrifying shadows, there is something we desperately need: water. In the permanently shadowed regions of the South Pole, there are craters where the sun hasn't shone for 2 billion years. It is colder there than it is on Pluto. And in that cold, there is ice. If we can reach that ice, we can stay. We can turn that water into oxygen to breathe and hydrogen for rocket fuel. The far side isn't just a graveyard, it's a gas station. It's the only way we ever get to Mars. Scientists risk everything to study this because the moon holds the black box of the solar system. Earth is constantly changing. Tectonic plates move, volcanoes erupt, and rain washes away the past. But the moon remembers everything. Every asteroid that ever flew through our neighborhood left a mark there. By studying the far side, we are reading the diary of the universe. We are learning when the next big one might be coming for us. As the Artemis II crew rounds the edge of the moon and sees the Earthrise, that tiny, fragile blue marble hanging in the blackness, they are hit with a sobering reality. The moon doesn't care about us. It is an ancient, uncaring shield that has been orbiting us since before the first dinosaur ever walked the Earth. It has seen empires rise and fall, and it has watched in silence as we struggled to even leave our own atmosphere. We look at the moon and see a friend, but the Artemis II crew looked at the far side and saw the truth, a massive, scarred reminder that we live in a very violent neighborhood. We are finally going back, not because it's easy, but because we finally realized that if we want to survive what's out there, we have to understand the monster that's been watching us from the dark. The crew is coming home tomorrow. They will splash down in the Pacific Ocean, back to the air, the warmth, and the safety of Earth, but they are bringing back photos and data that will haunt our scientists for decades. If you want to keep up with what they found and see the next steps in our journey to stay on the moon for good, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the far side is no longer a mystery, it's a map, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.